Hey guys, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about this new album from The Body. I've seen all I need to see. The Body are an experimental metal duo hailing from Providence, Rhode Island, who for me in the last couple of years have been a real shining light in the modern age of experimental metal. Their early recordings, like their self-titled and All the Waters of the Earth, truly are hellish albums. I mean, there is absolutely no hope in sight. My only issue with those albums were at the time, I felt like they had a great bass sound, but they didn't push it far enough. Personally, for me, it was around the time of like Christ's Redeemers that it really clicked with me. This was, once again, one of the most hellish things I heard all year, but to me it just seemed so vast, so well thought out. However, I will say this, and I know I'm probably not in the minority on this one. Honestly, it's a lot of the Body's collaborations that really made me fall in love with the band over the years. Their work with the Haxon Cloak and Full of Hell and Thou have been some of my favorite projects of theirs. And while a lot of people have been a little bit more iffy on their newer, more industrial and experimental stuff, I welcome it with open arms. I thought 2016's No One Deserves Happiness was just the right amount of completely bizarre but absolutely tortured. And while some found it a low point, I thought that I Have Fought Against It But I Can't No Longer was awesome. Now I'm going to be honest, these new singles have been sort of worrying me from The Body. Let's chat about this new one. This album starts off with a Lament, and let me tell you, it is unsettling. It is noisy. It is unbearably twisted at times. It makes you feel like you're watching a snuff film, and a really, really gritty one, too. And because this is The Body that we're talking about here, yeah, it kind of works. I love just how screechy and hazy the production is, and these tortured vocals just sound so ugh. It's all gravy, and even though this track is over almost 6 minutes, I don't get bored. Now I will say this starts the album off in this much more power electronics kind of way, and if that's not your thing, this certainly isn't going to win you over, but for me, I like it. I mean, it's The Body. You know what you're getting at this point. I also really like Eschatological Imperative. It's super bulky, kind of disgusting, and the way that this track just plods along sounds so dangerous. And no, it's not really that easy to get into, but it also reminds me of what I liked about their Haxon Cloak crossover. It's just so suffocating and mesmerizing. It works with The Body's style. Now, I will say this once again, if you're not into The Body's work, this is not going to win you over, and this is going to be tough to listen to. But if you're a fan of some of their more mesmerizing and suffocating works, this is going to be right up your alley. And The City is Shelled honestly makes me raise about 100 questions, but I love that. I ask myself constantly listening to this track, what am I even listening to? It sounds like something that would be used in like the gritty new trailer for a new Resident Evil game. Any glimmer of hope? No, not even close. And the pacing is just so disgusting and ruthless. It reminds me a lot of their early sludge metal days. In a good way though, like it takes a lot of patience getting through this track, but I think it's worth it. And by the end, this track just sounds completely evil. I think they actually took a lot from their collaborations with Full of Hell on this one. And I personally needed a track like The Handle the Blade. This is by far the most instantaneous track here, probably the only instantaneous track here. I love the pummeling drums and just how tortured this is once again. This is an all-out assault on everything. I mean, it's pretty easy to take in at times, but it's also super cutting, super raw. I could listen to this for a while. Quite frankly, though, I have to admit, I'm kind of disappointed with this album. Tied Up and Locked In is not my cup of tea. Look, The Body over the last couple of years have put to tape some of the most disgusting and ruthless metal I've heard. The screams here, they're all gravy. That gives me the chills. But the muddy production and the ugly instrumental is just not good. And that's by The Body's standards. A Pain of Knowing is actually my least favorite track here. And you know what? From this intro, I once again saw no hope in sight. I got myself, my hopes up. But no, this is laborious to listen to. It's a tremendous letdown for me, and that's a real shame because the production is money on this track. I guess there are some good elements to They Are Coming, but to me, at the same time, almost all of the nuance of this duo is just out the window. This used to be just this sort of hellish build-up and release project, even if it was disgusting and revolting most of the time. This just kind of skips all of that for harsh noise, and it's just very average. Honestly, a lot of their contemporaries are doing this sound a lot better. I have a lot of the same feelings on Path of Finality. I like the production here once again, and this does have a sense of finality to it. But it just doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't progress, which I could say about most of this album. For years, the Body have embraced these genres and really laid to tape some of the most tortured, revolting, and disgusting music in experimental metal, drone metal, and others. But this is the first time that they've laid to tape a short collection of songs like this that just has shown no progression at all. As a matter of fact, they kind of sound like they're slipping behind in these genres. Like, it's the first time in a long time that they haven't taken a big step, tried something big and new. And for that, not only have I, to quote the Body, have I seen all I need to see, I think for now I've heard all I need to hear. I'm feeling a decent 6 on this album, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.